Weep Grotto, Weep Nitty Bong, I'm Engineer Hoist, and welcome to our weekly Transformers news stream here on my channel and on Twitch, streamed live Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/EngineerHoist. And let's go ahead and say hi to everybody in the comments while we search for the answers to this week's question. I asked, who is your favorite non-aligned or mercenary bot? So we had a few people. Let's see, Gunfire says Black Shadow. New Master says Lockdown. He's still a mercenary. That's true, even though they Lockdown and a lot of other bots end up getting branded as Decepticons. Even Gnaw up here tends to get branded as Decepticons in the toys, so that they're not necessarily allied. Thanks for the subscription, Red Alert. Always appreciated. Speaking of him, he voted for Rubble. I'm not familiar with that character. Most likely a Junkion. And I don't know. Sorry for the sound. Apparently my phone's saying low battery even though it's plugged in. Let's see, who else do we got? Oh, he also voted for Star Drive. Not familiar with that character either. Jer Barbara saying Sound Blaster and Moon Racer need to appear in Earth Wars. Sound Blaster could be considered a mercenary. So yeah, and welcome to everybody. Big D, DS Michaels, Overwatch. We had a few new people in here. Crusher says his second time, but long time follower. Casper is first time live on the stream. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Oktar and everybody else who continues to join. How about we head over to the Transformers Earth Wars news? Oh, by the way, stick around. I got crystals and combat bot chips to crack after we get through the news. This weekend's event is called Supercharged Operations. Read the comics, he says. Yeah, I have to admit, I haven't been keeping up with the most recent comics. So I've been meaning to get back to it. Let's see. Oh, Rubble was the new bot, I think, from there. Anyway, back to the news. Take part in this weekend's event to win a gold squad core, 5 squad core chips, 10,000 premium shards, 1,500 3-star shards, 750 4-star shards, 50,000 spark, and as usual, up to 15 total spark crystals from the final tiers. This is an individual event, which means the success or failure of this event is entirely up to you. I believe in you. You can achieve all of your goals and get what you want from this prize list. It starts at the usual Friday start time and ends at the usual Monday stop time. There's one big prize list, so no prestiges. And you get triple XP throughout the event. To participate, you have to be headquarters level 4, which is pretty easy to start. If you're watching this live and you haven't started an account, you could probably be level 4 by the time the event starts. But once you get there, you hit that yellow event button, pick your battle zone, and win your battle, get your points, and then collect all your prizes. They are the standard battle zones. And here's a summary of the prizes. They come at many different prize point totals, including the first prize is at like 100 points. But you get, by the time you hit 5,500, you'll have all the premium shards. By 6,500, you'll have all the 3-star shards. By 7,000, you'll have all 5 squad core chips. By 7,500, you'll have all the 4-star shards. And finally, at 10,000 is the gold squad core chip. And 50,000 is the total to complete the event. It's not intended for everybody to try to reach that, but some people can actually score 50,000 without hardly trying, it seems. So they do provide a few rewards for those people who do go on and do that and take advantage of all of the XP. And if you're not familiar with the Total Spark Crystal, they have been doing these quite a bit. There's an equal chance to get 5,000, 7,500, or 10,000 of any of the types of spark, either Combat Spark, Combiner Spark, or regular old normal spark for leveling your abilities. And we learned who the new combat bots are going to be. First up is this guy, not sure can't really quite catch the guy's name, but his bio says medic par excellence. Rang is also a qualified PSYOP specialist, and in that capacity doubles as a counselor for his fellow Autobots. But he has a habit of over-analyzing to the point of nosiness and always thinks he knows best. by the way, the guy's actual name is Rung. For those of you who aren't, we're going back to the comics. Red alert! I did read these comics. The guy's name is Rung, R-U-N-G. But one of the things in the comics is he's kind of unremarkable, and everybody seems to forget his name. So that's where I kind of went along with that. So, but just to be clear, it is Rung, R-U-N-G. For anybody who's not familiar. And the next up for the Decepticon counterpart is Shroot. And he is the assistant to the evil overlord Megatron. Not really, but that's kind of the Office joke, because this guy's got to be named after Dwight. In fact, his bio kind of matches that. To call Shroot pedantic would be a gross understatement. He's at his happiest, nitpicking and correcting others, then loudly remonstrating about their shortcomings. At least as a medic, he fulfills a useful function, even if a bedside manner is entirely absent. He looks like a beat. Nice one. Good call, Red Alert. So interesting that these two came in at... They're both described as medics. I wonder if that's a clue to their ability. Are these guys going to be combat bots for the healers, perhaps? To help boost their healing abilities, or maybe just give a normal bot some other kind of a healing ability. I suppose we'll find out probably next week when we actually learn their abilities. I'm sure some of the playtesters out there already know, but I'm not in that playtesting group, which is fine. But it's pretty interesting to see that they're both listed as medics. Okay, so another big news for anybody who's sitting on perhaps 3 5-star crystals. Sunstreaker Waza, I see you there. The next 5-star batch, they say, is actually going to be coming out this week on Thursday. Usually happens right around 10 or 11 a.m. Eastern time, about an hour before the stream. And so that's actually going to be going live. Basically, as we're recording live, it's tomorrow. If you're watching the replay, it's probably already live. And the current 5 stars will be released in a legacy crystal. Usually that comes a week or so, or a couple weeks after. Maybe they'll pull it off and have it be available tomorrow. Usually it takes a couple of weeks though, but they will still be available in the next legacy crystal. Now, along with these bots, they did hint that they were going, or they didn't hint, they outright said that they were making changes to the bots, and now we know what those changes are, and some of these are actually really cool. And I apologize for the massive wall of text that's about to come. First up, we've got Blades and Dirge. They made a few well, actually all of these changes are to the special abilities. The first one is actually a nice good increase or improvement. The cost of the special ability is now going to be 5 for the initial use, and then 3. You add on 3 more for each subsequent use. Currently, it is 6 plus 4, and so it's going to cost you fewer ability points to use their abilities, which is always a good thing. And also each ability level increase will increase the hack duration by 0.4 seconds. For the 4-star, 0.6 seconds for the 5-star, instead of the 0.3 seconds for all of the other star ratings. So there is an improvement. You do get a longer hack for the higher star levels. Also, the defenses hacked will attack at 80% of their speed for the 5-star, which is an improvement. I didn't remember what the current one is. I think it's 60 or 70%. So it is a little bit faster, the defenses, because it does slow them down, but now it slows them down less for the 5-star. And also the ability description has been reworded to say that it attacks at 80% instead of being 20% slower, because that was kind of confusing even when they first came out. So that really wasn't, that last bullet's not really an improvement in ability as much as clarifying the description. Still, all good things. Blades is one of my favorite bots. He's on my raid team, and I think he was going to make it for an excellent 5-star bot if you end up getting him. Next up is Laser Optimus and Armada Megatron. Quite a bit of changes to these guys. First to their special ability, but also to their G1 core. if you happen to use that on them. First off, this is a huge reduction in their ability cost. It used to be 10 for their first use of the ability, and then add on 2 for each additional use. Now that first use is only going to be 5, and then add on 2. So that's a huge reduction in the ability, which I think will... I've always been kind of opposed to using them at the cost of 10. There's always seemed to be better options for those first 10 ability points. At 5, I might use them a little bit more. They've also increased his range for all of them, so that's good to see. It used to take 15 seconds to get through his ability, which always seemed to be too long, because it would just take forever for all those discs to go out, and anytime he pops out of an outpost, he never finishes his ability because he's a sitting duck there. They've reduced that from 15 seconds to only 10 seconds, but they keep the same amount of attack, so you get the same amount of damage done in a shorter amount of time, so that's good. But to do that, that also comes along with this. They've increased the damage of that first disc, that first bounce, because it bounces a few times. That first bounce is going to cause more damage, which is good. Also, they reduced how many times it bounces, so each bounce gets more damage, and that's good too, because it almost always would seem to hit the first thing and then bounce along the walls, which was always seemed kind of a waste to me. So now at least you're not wasting as much on the walls if it ends up doing that again. So definitely good improvements to that ability. Definitely want to give this guy another shot. Once I level him up, he's sitting there waiting in line for the research lab. Maybe he'll bump up in line. But the G1 core does affect the ability, because I think it says it puts up a shield while he's doing his ability. So since the ability duration has been decreased, the shield duration given by the G1 core has been reduced to match. And they've also increased the shield absorption. Instead of just 20%, it protects him at 50% now. Whew. Gotta take a breather after that one. That was a lot of stuff on Laser Optimus and Megatron. Okay, next up, Smokescreen and Breakneck. Now this is actually going to be really good, because these guys, the ability cost, it's not changing, but it's 3 every time. It doesn't increase. It's 3 every time. So that this keep in mind that when we look through all these different abilities, the amount of damage done to a building when it's not destroyed instantly is now twice as high as it used to be. And that's a good thing, because if you happen to miss it and didn't actually shoot that ability to a building that could be really destroyed, it caused almost no damage, it seemed. But now it's going to cause twice as much damage to make it not quite as bad. Also, the threshold for instant destroy is at 40% of the health for the 5-star only. I believe it's lower than that. I want to say 30%. Don't remember. But it's not. The 5-star can destroy a building instantly with higher damage, or more health. And, boy, I really butchered that, didn't I? I think you know what I mean, though. Also, the big use for these guys is to snipe the outpost bot. So they always cause great amount of damage to the outpost bot, but don't hit Tantrum or Hotspot if they have their reflective shield up, because it'll be basically a suicide attack. Hidden tip there. But the damage multiplier on the bots is higher for the 5-star version than it is for the other versions. And it says it will be especially high because the new damage multiplier and the naturally occurring higher DPS of the 5-star version. And also the range is increased, which was always a pretty big range already, so now it's going to be a very high range. He also has a passive ability. If you use Smokescreen or Breakneck a lot, you'll notice as he's going along, he has the normal shot, but every so often he'll stop and actually snipe from a very far away, causing an increased amount of damage than his normal ability. So they've also increased a higher damage multiplier on bots for that particular ability. A lot of stuff there too. Psycho's saying smoke is fun to snipe outpost bots. Yeah, I remember when he first came out, everybody was showing off how they were able to snipe Scourge or Swoop when they first come out of the outpost, which is pretty impressive to be totally honest there. Next up is Jetfire and Starscream. Dino Ball, thank you for the follow. Not a whole lot of work here on these guys, but this is pretty important. The Chrome, Jetfire, and Starscream's Crown bot-specific core used to just improve the regular damage. So I even though I've got a couple of them, I really don't use them. So they've changed it now to increase the special ability damage, basically enhanced ordnance, combined with a reflective shield core. So it increases the special ability damage and damage reflection. So I think that's actually pretty good. It's probably worth going ahead and throwing on the Chrome Jetfire. I just kind of wish he looked a little bit better. I'm not a big fan of the Chrome Jetfire skin. Maybe if they release another Jetfire skin that can override that, like with the skin core, maybe I'll go. Or I could just live with it if it actually improves Jetfire. And then Rhinox and Tarantulas were probably the least modified, and basically they are now immune to stuns while they are charging with their special ability. I guess that means they could have been able to be stunned when they were charging, but now they won't be, which is probably the way it should have been, and maybe that's the way they meant it to be. Not sure. But that's the way it's going to be now, and I believe all of these improvements go live tomorrow with the release of the 5-star batch. So, Devastator, you've missed almost the entire news, buddy. Don't worry, the replay will be available immediately on Twitch and tomorrow on YouTube. Obviously, if you're watching the YouTube video right now, obviously it's available to you. And that does it for the news. Just a reminder, if you're watching the replay, head on over to twitch.tv/EngineerHoist Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern so you can catch us live and join in on all this fun and ask questions and enjoy everything. Plus, we also do stick around afterwards, after the news and any crystal cracking for a little bit of extra hangout time. And you can also follow me at EngineerHoist on Instagram or Twitter for infrequent behind-the-scenes content. Alrighty. Let's get back over here. Something I didn't do in the stream. So as we were talking about old Rung here, yes, I'm calling him by his real name, Rung. He came out in the Siege line. In fact, both of these guys did. So that is Rung. He's a little battle master. And if you're not familiar with who this guy is, I suggest that you go find the More Than Meets the Eye and the Lost Light comics from IDW, which were out for a while. It's probably been about a year or two now that they've been done. But so there you go. I agree, Big Bronze Rim. I was a little disappointed to see that he came out as Battle Master. I would have rather seen him as a deluxe, but hey, at least we've got a figure of him. So there you go. And the other guy is Shroot. We've got right here. He came in that apparently hard to get Phantom Strike Squadron set with Siege Skywarp. And another combat bot, which looks almost identical to him, whose name escapes me at the moment. But this guy was pretty hard to get because he was part of that Siege Skywarp pack from Amazon. About a year ago, I think. So, there you go. That's basically it for the news. Now it's time to crack some crystals. Is second season of War for Cybertron out yet? Dude, they just released the first one like 2 weeks ago. It's probably going to be a year before they release the next one. That's usually how the TV seasons go. If we're lucky, it'll be less than a year. But it's certainly not going to be anytime in the near future. Okay, so before we get to the crystals, I do have a bot that has finished upgrading. I don't remember who this is. Ah, yes, this is Tarantulas. I just got him from a free crystal just yesterday, so this is just his first increase, his first research. So he is now level 11. And before we get out of here, too, we'll go into the Combiner Lab because we have Omega Supreme. He is now level 5, and he is ready to go to 3-star. And we'll come back to him in 2 days and see how he does. So there you go. And I've gotten the question a number of times on other videos. So if you happen to be watching this and you have the same question, if you did not get the 3-star tank piece for Omega Supreme or for Overlord during the event a couple of weeks ago, it will be available again in the future. We just do not have any details of when or how that's going to happen, but it will be available. DS Michael's asking, did I pre-order the cone heads off of Amazon? I did. Also got the Prowl and Ironhide set. I think they look pretty good. Is Transformers Earth Wars going to add Sideways? Don't know. About the only bots that I know are going to come, and that's only based on who's already in the game. We got Runamuck, which means Runabout is going to come at some point for the Decepticons. For the Autobots, they're going to finish building Computron, which means we're going to get Afterburner and Scattershot at some point. Maybe Scrounge, but that's unlikely because he did come with the Combiner Wars toy, but it's unlikely, but possibly Scrounge. And also the remaining bots for Lio Kaiser. And I could not tell you their names. I'm not really familiar with that character, but yeah, that's basically it. You saw the Prime vs. Prime review of the Ironhide. Yeah, I've seen the back side of that where it's basically just his feet. It looks good from the front and the side. Just don't look at the back. It's just his feet hanging out. So, do I have Earthrise Prime? I do. Let's go ahead and crack these chips first because they take forever. I forget who these chips are even for. I think it's a Trenchfoot. Or Top Shot. I almost said Top Hat. Yeah, maybe we'll call him Top Hat. So, obviously, just like anything else, any combat bot could come out of here, but we do have a better chance for getting Top Hat. I'm just going to call him Top Hat. Most excited for Thrust for Earthrise? Yeah, I know, me too. Clearly he's going to come because Ramjet and Dirge are coming in that 2-pack, and Thrust is nowhere to be seen, so clearly Thrust is going to be in one of the later waves of Earthrise. Because it's rare. I won't say it's never happened, but it's rare that you'll get, say, Starscream and Thundercracker, but no Skywarp, or Starscream and Skywarp and no Thundercracker. Same thing with the Coneheads. They almost always come in 3s. It's a little surprising, honestly, that they didn't come in a 3-pack, because they're often, if they're going to combine them in a pack, often they'll do the 3-pack. But, you know, hey, he'll come out at some point. Hasbro needs to buy back all these extra grapples. Yeah, no kidding. It's kind of funny that you know, everybody wants the Starscream, but nobody wants grapple. I do have Earthrise Prime. He's not on the desk at the moment. I had to rearrange the desk, clear out a little bit of space, but he's around. Very good figure, that Earthrise Prime. Will they put Hot House in the game? Probably not. I don't see that we'll be seeing Hot House in the game. If you guys don't know who that is, that was the Generation Selects figure that they just revealed yesterday on the Hasbro Pulse. I did actually pre-order one of those because the colors are just crazy, and I like bots with crazy colors. So, good to see you too, Optimus Rhinox. Thanks for coming by. Still looking for that Snapdragon Red Alert? He's a good figure. Today's reveal, I think they're doing like, aren't they doing it like once a week? I didn't think they're doing once a day. Yes, Devastator. Watermelon Mirage is an excellent example of how I like bots with crazy colors. I might be wrong on that, but I think it was like, I think it's like every Tuesday they're releasing or they're revealing a new one. And it's not all Hasbro Pulse. I think they said there's going to be Entertainment Earth a couple of times, and there was something else that some other site that they mentioned, I think. Recently pulled a 3-star Run Amok. Is he useful? Yeah, he's pretty good. He's like he's the counterpart to Red Alert, so he's got a good ability where if you use his ability, he makes all of your bots stunned to like the stasis mines, the EMP blast. Plus, I think he also increases their movement speed, so it's a pretty good ability. Chromia is going to be a real challenge in an outpost. Yeah, that would be a good bot to have to kind of counter that. Because she puts that little shock tower down to stun everybody, and the run amok, run amok's ability might be able to help counter that. Gonna need my luck. You got 106 gun crystals. Well, I got 50 of them sitting here. So you got twice as many as I do. Box is all messed up. Yeah, that's tough when you see the box on mine was a little messed up. It wasn't bad. It was a little bent and all that. I wasn't too worried about it. I did look a little closer at the figure, make sure everything was in order. But it mostly looked like the box got crushed a little bit or something. If I was somebody who liked to keep them in the boxes, I'd have been upset, but I'd take them out of the box and play with them and put them on a shelf. So I wasn't too worried about the condition of the box. In fact, I think that box is already gone in the trash. Recycling. I recycle the boxes because, you know, they're cardboard and plastic. Getting a lot of duplicates, but you know, these 3-star dupes, and if I get any 4-star dupes would be nice too, because I am getting pretty close to a 5-star combat chip. Not sure even with 100 of these chips if I'll get there tonight though, because at just 2 per 2-star duplicate, you're not gonna get that far. Oh yeah, I've gotten 4-star duplicates from chips. Not today yet, I don't think. But we got 66 more to go. Pretty good chance. Leader class Dark of the Moon Shockwave from the Studio series. It looks really nice. And it's definitely better than the one that came out during the Dark of the Moon, but I'll tell you, it's basically a little bit larger and remolded version of the Studio Series Tank Megatron. So if you've got that, you'll kind of know what it is. I was honestly a little disappointed when I realized that. Still looks really good. Still looks really good. It comes with a figure of Brain, a tiny, tiny little Brain. You know that little dude who hung out with Wheelie during the movie? Saw Wheeljack with no chest plate at a target. Well, that's crazy. Imagine Transformers Prime toys. Okay. They're pretty good. Oh, in Earth Wars. It would be nice, but you know, Hasbro Hasbro tells them what they can and can't do in the game. So if they don't want to have the Transformers Prime, I mean, Space Ape can certainly ask for particular bots. I would like to see the I'd like to see Bulkhead show up. Knockout would be pretty good if they want to bring in another medic. They could have Knockout countered with Hoist. Or like I said before, you can have Hoist not even be a medic. So, double dealer for leaderboard? Well, that would make sense. I mean, he's coming out in Earthrise. In fact, I have a double dealer on order. In fact, he should be arriving tomorrow. So, I can bring him out and show him off next week. Oh, there was I almost missed it. There is a duplicate 4-star combat bot right there. Thought about doing a YouTube video for the combat bots and the best bots to pair them with. I thought about it, but haven't really done anything with it. What about Arachnid? Yeah, you could bring her in. I'm not sure who you would pair her with, unless you wanted to pair her with the Prime RC. You could do that. And I think that's one of the problems. Obviously, they've got multiple versions of the characters in the game already, but I don't know if they want to keep doing all of that when there's so many other bots that you can bring in with different personalities. Speaking of Arachnid, I was so disappointed with the toy that came out in the Transformers Prime line. She's such a good character, and I was really hoping for a good figure of her. But man, that toy of hers is just atrocious. Got Double Dealer a while ago, and he's great, especially with Scar and Knock. Cool. Imagine if we got Megatronus for cons and an Autobot Prime for the Autobots. I don't think we'll be seeing that because we've got them in the Prime cores, so it's unlikely that we'll be seeing them as bots. Is Double Dealer a true leader class, or is he like Earthrise Prime and a Voyager with a big added piece? I can't really tell you that, but from what I've seen, he doesn't have a lot of accessories. But I can tell you tomorrow when he shows up. I've heard that I haven't even really seen any reviews, like a full review of it. I've heard he's bigger than usual. Bigger than a Voyager, bigger than these like the Earthrise Prime type of stuff. Red alert! There you go. He's got him. True leader size. Hope they modeled Double Dealer the same way he was modeled in Transformers Battle Tactics. I don't remember Double Dealer from Battle Tactics. I remember Hoist was in there. Oh, that was that Generations version of him, wasn't it? Where he was using the Blitzwing mold? No. That wasn't ever Double Dealer. That was a jet and a tank and just some robot that kind of looked like Double Dealer. That wasn't the Double Dealer is a missile launcher and a bird and a bot. And that's what this one is. Got Fans Toys Hunk Dune Rider on the way, with Gravestone finally showing up. I did get a shipment yesterday, and we'll be looking at a couple of those bots here in a little bit. I got them right over here. One of them's a real big boy. Yeah, back in the Power of the Primes, or Titan's Return it was, Megatron was Blitzwing, Optimus Prime was Octane. Yep, same mold. Good old pre-paints, as I like to call them. I've heard other people call them that too, but I did start calling them that before other people did. I won't claim credit for the term. I'm sure it's not that unique to slap a P in front of repaint and call it a pre-paint. Big Bronze Rim already knows who I'm talking about. Will they add Twin Cast and Sound Blaster? I mean, they could. They've already got the models in the game. You just slap a coat of paint on them. They'd have to think about, you know, because they both use the minions. Who would you give them additional minions? Because that would be the tricky part of that. is you can use the model, but you might have to come up with some other thing. Even though you have the skin, the shape of them, you'd probably have to give them a different type of ability, which they certainly could, because we have a lot of characters in the game that share the same base model. I mean, look at all the helicopters in the game based off of that Combiner Wars helicopter, like Alpha Bravo and Skyburst and Stormclash. Stormclash acts like a jet. A lot of the other ones act like basically gunners. They just kind of hover there and fire off missiles or whatever. So they can change how the bot operates, even though they look the same. Sideswipe and Sunstreaker are a good example too, where Sunstreaker's a gunner, Sideswipe is more of a tank. So they could do that. I think it's unlikely though. Ornamen's asking, is Top Hat the only 4-star combat bot? No, I think there's a couple more that I'm missing. Certainly on the Decepticon side, I don't have all the 4 stars for the Decepticon side. Trenchfoot, I think, is a 4-star that I'm missing, and Night Stalker, I think. I have Flak. I think I got Lionizer recently. I think I have Tyraxodon. And I think I have the Fire Drive. Who else? Is there another one? I think that's it. No, there's one more. Can't remember. We can go look afterwards. It takes forever to get through these combat bots. It's time to mention the desire for a crack 10 at a time button. I mean, they're very generous giving us all of these combat chips. But my goodness, it takes forever to get through them all. Especially when there's not that many that can come out of them. Even if you got every new bot out of a batch of 100, that's still like 90 duplicates. Or 80. Because there's not that many of them out yet. Or a skip animation, yeah. It's like, hey, just give me the results. We're on the final stretch here, though. 8 more. How do you become a VIP? What do we say, guys? Spend way too much money. There you go, Silverbolt's on it. A wallet warrior, I've never heard of. I haven't heard that term before, that's funny. Okay, we're coming down 2 more. And last one. Okay, so that's all duplicates. That's fine. I really wanted these 6-gun crystals. Is really the big reason why I got this. Before we get there, let's go answer the question of combat bots. Who do I have in... Okay, so there we go. Flak, Tyraxodon, Lionizer, and Fire Drive. I also happen to get Ravage from a free crystal, or combat chip, as a 4-star for the Decepticons. And I think I have everybody in 3-star, though. So that would be everybody, Top Shot and Trenchfoot at 3-star. But I don't have them at the 4-star. And 6-gun I have at just the 2-star. So, hoping to see... Oh, I also wanted to see how close am I to 4680 of the out of 5,000 for a 5-star combat chip. So getting close. Still a little ways away though. All right, let's go for 6-gun here. We got 50 chances at getting 6-gun. Hopefully we get at least a 3-star out of this. If we're lucky, we get the 4-star. Nah, we get a warpath first. Did I get that 4-pack of cassettes from Hasbro Pulse? No, I didn't. I kind of wish I did now that now that I've seen that it was actually Double Dealer's guys in there. I might look and see if it's still available, if I can get that. But, you know, even if I don't, that'll be fine, because it'll just match my G1 Double Dealer, because I'm not sure where his Power Masters went either. I think I might have the Bat, who is that? Scar, maybe? But I know for sure I don't have the Autobot one. That's okay, I know how the buttons work, and I can press them with my finger. They're sold out? Okay, well, that's fine. Yeah, you snooze, you lose, right? Not a big deal. It would have been nice to have, but I didn't realize it. Honestly, I think they were probably sold out before I was even aware that it was. I haven't been paying attention to all the new releases. So many things lately have been going by without me even seeing them. Oh, here we go. 3 stars, 6 gun. All right. Okay, I can leave happy, but we still got 42 chances to get even happier. And naturally, just like any character crystal, you could certainly pull a 4-star event, any bot. So just because it lights up as 4-star doesn't necessarily mean it's definitely 6 gun. Hopefully it will be. Yeah, it's kind of annoying that it can drop any bot, but, you know, that's how it's been. The key thing is, you can't get 6 gun from normal crystals right now, so that's kind of the big thing about these character-specific crystals, at least at first, is there's no other way to get 6 gun after the event for the first 2 or 3 months unless you get the character crystals. There's Hound. What'd you miss? Where'd you go? We got no luck on the looking for 4-star top hat or top shot, but did pull the 3-star 6 gun a few crystals ago. Still looking for that 4-star though. Father-son bonding? Okay, I'll allow it. Prefer the Terracon bundle since it's all promised Terracon. Yeah, that is nice when they release those combiner-specific bundles. Like, I think it's a Rust Renegade bundle right now where it's all Rust Renegades. It helps. You still get a lot of duplicates. The nice thing about those, though, is usually they'll put a batch of Combiner Spark along with it. And because they're all of the bots that are going to come up are from that Combiner, you're gonna get a truckload of Combiner Spark. So those bundles are good if you need to get some beef up your Combiner Spark. Is get those Combiner specific bundles. Although it seems like half the characters are part of a Combiner anymore, so you tend to get quite a bit of them just through cracking normal crystals too. Just not on every bot. Like Sea Spray. No Combiner Spark from this guy. What good is he? I use Sea Spray too. I'm just kidding around. The most feared Autobot there is. He's like the Aquaman of the Transformers. Yeah, the Aquaman before Jason Momoa. Because he made Aquaman cool. Before that, Aquaman was kind of a joke. I mean, I suppose he was good, but he was kind of like the butt of a lot of jokes from comic fans, from what I hear. Fear the spray. That's a good hashtag. But Rampage and Depth Charge from Beast Wars in the game? Yeah, they're hitting Beast Wars pretty hard. There's a pretty good chance those guys could show up. Oh, Sea Spray will be a 5-star at some point. You know it. You know he will. I rue the day they put Air Raid and Slipstream in there. Nobody will get that batch for fear of getting those two. If they put them in there, they'll have to get even more rework than Laser Optimus and Blades and Dirge combined. Beast Wars, yeah, it's a good point, Gunfire. Beast Wars will be in the next year's toy line, so really good chance that we'll be seeing more Beast Wars characters. Inferno! Everybody's favorite bot lately. Damage increase, yeah, that would definitely help. They're just a little too underpowered anymore. I mean, when you're able to pull it off and to where it actually can, you know, take out a large area, it's really impressive. It's just so many bases anymore don't really allow you to make use of that. Plus, also the damage done typically won't destroy everything. It'll knock it down significantly, but if a defense is still operating, it's still causing the same amount of damage to your bots. So, don't get me wrong, I'm still leveling my Air Raid. He's almost at 50. But he'll be at the end of the line for upgrades. Putting it on harvesters and then one shot with jets. Nice. That's the trick, is you gotta place it on something with a low amount of health so that you can easily one shot it. Down to the last 5, and the boss comes through. There's Drift. It looks like we did get another crystal over there, probably a 3-star crystal over there. And there's Perceptor. Last one gives us nothing. Except Rust Dust. Good old Rust Dust. Alright, let's go see what else we got. Okay, I'm gonna have to back out of here because that button's glitched. Couple of 3-stars. How about we use one Autobot and we'll do one Decepticon. Or I got both Autobots, didn't I? Oh well, doesn't matter. They're both about as likely to be duplicates. Ironhide and Tigerhawk. There we go, and that completes the crystal cracking portion of the program. And because there's so many crystals and chips to crack, I think that's going to complete the program portion of the program. And I do appreciate everybody for stopping by. If you missed anything and you're coming into the stream late, we found out that Rung and Shroot are the next combat bots to come. We do not know their abilities yet, but they did hint that they are medics. And we also cracked a bunch of crystals and managed to pull a 3-star 6-gun, which is good news. 4-star would have been better as usual, but 3-star, I'm still happy we got the 3-star. And so if you made it this far in the replay, head on over to twitch.tv/EngineerHoist Wednesdays at 8 p.m. to join us live. And for those of you watching live, stick around. We'll talk a little bit more. Otherwise, I'm Engineer Hoist. Keep rolling, my friends, and we'll see you next time.